Hi, me again. May I share with you three things about the subconscious and central nervous system on our subject of finding out a little bit more about ourselves through the power of Psycho Cybernetics. The first thing is that the subconscious central nervous system needs a target on which to focus. In other words, as human beings, we are what is called teleological, which means we must have a target. Now, you hear people say, I don't have a target, I don't have a goal. Well, if you don't set your own goal and you need a goal, in other words, your whole system requires a goal, because that's the nature of a human being, then what will happen is that it will set its own goal. And what goal will it set? Interestingly, it sets the thoughts that are most dominant in your head at the time, which makes sense. Remember that it doesn't work for you or against you, it just works. So let's say that you are fearful of going into a certain situation. Then you will find that it will take you there. That's where it thinks you want to go because you've been thinking about it. So why would you think about it if that's not what you wanted? So if you think positive things, it will take you there as well. So just be a little bit careful about what you dwell on. So it takes you to the things you dwell on, unless you deliberately set a goal for it, and that becomes your self-image goal. It becomes where you want to go. It becomes your sense of purpose. It becomes your key goal. The second thing we know about the central nervous system is that it doesn't know the difference between a real and a vividly imagined experience. So let's think about that for a minute. How do we know this? It seems a bit extraordinary. Well, if you've heard about ECGs. ECGs are things that they put on your chest and measure and put on your brain to measure certain responses. So what they do is they will set these onto a person's neurological centers, so on their head, and they'll then ask them to imagine things. And they may ask them to imagine themselves skiing, or imagine themselves playing basketball, or imagine themselves running away from a danger. And they find that the response, the mental response, is identical to if it was a real experience. Now that may sound strange, but that's how it works. The subconscious will not question you. If you tell it that you're in danger, if you tell it that something's not going to go well, it will act accordingly. The third biggie I want to leave with you in the short space of time we have is the fact that the subconscious central nervous system, I'm trying to get a little bit of the Buddhist temple in for you. The subconscious central nervous system cannot work on the opposite of an idea. So let me give you an example. Don't think of the color blue. Now you might say that you're not thinking of the color blue. In actual fact, you have to think of the color blue before you think of some other color. So by following the sentence, don't think of the color blue, you immediately think of blue. That's the same with your subconscious. It cannot work on the opposite of an idea. So tell it what you want to have happen. Don't tell it what you don't want to have happen. And I'm called in from time to time to look at correspondence in an organization that are trying to, or intent on motivating staff. And the negative wording is very bad. The negative wording in this COVID-19 crisis has been terrible. So speak positively to yourself in terms of where you want to go, not negatively. So if you feel nervous, don't say to yourself, I'm saying it to you now, say to yourself, I feel confident, I feel strong, I feel that I can handle this, I will handle this. Don't give it a negative like I am afraid or I hope I don't fail, because if you say negative things to yourself like I hope I won't fail, I hope I won't blow this, then in actual fact your subconscious is picking up on what you're saying, not on the intent of what you're saying. I hope that makes sense. So goodbye from the Buddhist temple at Flatbush in Auckland, New Zealand.